Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious Podcast. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously.
Oh, yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. And on today's episode of the Ambitchious Podcast, we have my soul sister and my mentorship mistress mind client, Melissa Turcotte. Melissa is a board-certified psychiatric registered nurse turned entrepreneur, and she has been able to take her love of crystals and all things metaphysical and woo-woo and grow it into the beautiful business that she's been running full-time for over 4 years. Melissa is based out of Merrimack, New Hampshire, but she caters to and sells crystals to customers all across the world. And she is also the owner of the Juju Nurse Crystals Incorporate. And she is a mother of 2 beautiful boys and Bubba, her pit bull fur baby. When you guys hear this episode, you're going to be inspired. The things that Melissa has overcome, gone through, experienced, and when you hear a story, you're just going to be like, oh, okay, I understand what Katie's talking about. It's just so incredible when someone really has, come hell or high water, a hankering to be the best that they can be, and they take no for an answer, and they just go and roll the dice and throw themselves out there, the things that you can accomplish is absolutely mesmerizing. And I have Melissa Turcotte, aka the Juju Nurse, on here today because I know that her story is going to empower you, entertain you, inspire you, and educate you. Without further ado, let's listen to today's Ambitchious Podcast episode with the Juju Nurse. And let me tell you, bitches, I have a motherfucking treat for you because we have the one, the only Melissa Turcotte, the Juju Nurse in the Ambitchious house. What's up, Melissa?
Oh, hey. How are you?
We are fucking good, and we're even better now that you're here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Any fucking time. Anytime. I'm so excited for us to get all up in the nitty gritty today, all about crystals and your story and what's next for you, because I know that all the HBICs out there in Ambitchious land love to hear a good, ambitious, triumphant story.
Okay, well, I'm here for it.
They also like to hear the dark, dirty shit too.
Oh, I have tons of that.
I am so ready for it. So I met you through a mutual friend.
Yes.
Who also keeps our claws on point.
Talons on point, yes.
Talons on point. Nicole Francis, who owns the Beauty Bar in Nashua, New Hampshire. And Nicole would always be like, you got to meet my friend Juju. And then I started following you on Instagram, and I literally fell in love with you. I wanted to eat your ass like a cupcake from the jump.
I love that.
And then do you remember the time that I came in and you're like, let's do a podcast together?
It haunts my dreams still.
Can we just talk about that real quick?
If we have to, yes, we can.
So I walked in, you were getting your nails done. And then what happened?
You were a vibe, and I didn't really know much about you, but I'm like, who is she? So Nicole told me that's Katie Boyd. So I ended up following you on Instagram. And then I was like, oh, before I really dove deep into what Ambitchious was, I was like, I like this chick. I like her vibe. She's funny as shit. I was like, do you want to do a podcast with me? And she's like, ma'am, I have one. Thank you. And I was like, okay. And then when I found out who she was, I was like, oh, dear God.
I was like, does this bitch know who I am? Because I get a little, I get a little egoic because I'm just a pompy fucking rooster.
As you should.
I'm a cock on a walk sometimes.
Yes.
And I was just like, no, I like her. I don't care that she just said that to me. She didn't do her research today.
I had an out-of-body experience when I found out who you are. I was like, that is so embarrassing. I'm just going to go dig a hole now and die.
I loved it though, because you know what? You had balls actually, because most people don't have balls to talk to me. They just see me. I'm like this big energy. I come in with like my Wednesday Addams, Morticia Addams outfits on all the time with my long black hair. And I'm just like, hello.
No, yeah, I was here. It like drew me in and I was like, I like this chick. I don't know who the hell she is, but I'm going to fuck with
Isn't
her.
that so funny?
Yeah.
And now here we are.
I know.
You're a fucking master manifester, by the way.
I love that.
No, you really, truly are.
It's spooky, but I love
You
it.
are a spooky bitch. Did you always know you were a spooky bitch?
Yeah.
You really
Even
did?
when I was little, I knew it. Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
I just was always like into like weird things. I don't know, like paranormal, like always just like had like this preoccupation with just like the supernatural. Didn't really know much about it, but just was into it.
So you were spooky from the jump.
Yeah.
And now you're doing even more spooky shit with your company, which we're going to
so.
get into that because I
Okay.
cannot wait for everyone to hear. So obviously I was in the beauty bar. I walked in and this bitch was trying to get me to do a podcast with her. And I was just like, excuse me? But then we fell in love.
Yes.
And she actually started working with me in what, September or August? In August. And we work on everything. We're in mentorship together. So I mentor her and help her with everything from like her spiritual stuff, her health stuff, her work stuff, you name it. We're doing it all.
All the stuff.
And it's all good stuff.
Amazing.
And since you've been working with me since August, like has your life not changed? Because I love watching it from like this side of the fence.
It's significantly, like I was just telling my sister about it and I was like, my quality of life has significantly improved.
That makes me want to cry.
Don't cry. It's
But
okay.
I love hearing that
no,
stuff.
it's amazing.
Because I know I can be a real motherfucker.
No, but that's what I'm here for. I need a real motherfucker to get me. Who else is going to get me to change my ways?
Well, I think that a lot of people want that like hardcore coach. But then when they get it, they're like, oh, this bitch is wild.
Oh no, I know myself too well to know that like that's what I need. I need that tough love. But you're like lovey.
I am. Yeah. See, if you really know me, you realize like I'm just hard exterior, that I'm actually like super loving and mushy on the inside. But on the outside, I'm like DMX, party up.
Yes, up in here. No.
Up in here.
No, yeah, it's like that tough love, but it has like that love undertone. So
I love it.
I'm here for it.
I love it. So I want to talk to the people out there in Ambitchious Land all about your journey.
Okay.
Because you were not always the crystal queen, right? Like you were not always Juju Nurse.
No.
You were actually just a nurse.
Just a nurse.
So how many years ago were you actually in the nursing world?
So 2013, I graduated, and then until 2018. So 5 years.
So you were in the nursing industry for 5 years and you specialized in psych.
Psych, yeah. I'm a board certified psych nurse.
Oh my God. So can we talk about that a little bit? Did you used to restrain people?
Yes.
You are so little.
I was not little when I...
Oh my God. Well, we're also going to talk about that in a second.
Yes, but no, yeah. Well, we had to sometimes. It was like for safety, not,
right,
not
of course.
just for convenience.
Yes.
It sucked when we had to do it. But yeah, I worked at the state hospital in Concord that's where I started for, I think, 4 years.
Wow.
And then I was at Elliott in their ERs, their psych nurse, and then on their inpatient unit for a little while as well. And then I wanted to get a side hustle, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to sell LuLaRoe leggings." And
I'm literally done with you.
That I was too. I was like, "Absolutely not."
Not that I have anything against multi-level marketing or network marketing, any of that stuff, but like if you watch the Lulu, what's it called?
LuLaRoe. They got some nice butter soft leggings.
Oh, they do.
Yes.
They do. But did you see the whole friggin' thing about it?
No.
Girl, you got to watch Netflix.
Oh, okay. I'm busy. Okay.
You're busy literally going to the next level with your company now.
Yeah.
So you started doing that as a side hustle.
So I was going to do LuLaRoe, and then I said, no, I'm going to do something cooler. I'm going to start selling my crystals.
Oh,
so I guess we could probably back up. And
let's back up.
Yeah.
So you were nursing.
Yeah, I was
You were
nursing.
living your best nursing life. And then what happened?
And then the father of my kids passed away. Expectedly, unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a real brake pumper in life. Yeah, just a little bit. And that was like the love of my life. Like we were together in high school. And then, we took some time apart, and then we got back together, had our 2 boys, engaged, all the things.
Yeah.
And so, he passed away. And then, so I separate my life as to when Eddie was alive and now after Eddie. I had like this really heavy feeling after he passed away that I just like couldn't shake. And I was like, even though being a psych nurse, I'm like, I'm not going on antidepressants. I didn't want to do any of that. So I'm like, let me try this Reiki shit I'm hearing about. I don't know what it is, but I'm here for it.
Yes.
Went and saw this very nice woman named Joy, and she was like, can I use crystals on you as well? And I'm like, okay, I'm here
You're like,
for it.
light a bitch up.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but do it.
You can do anything to me right now if you think it's going to help me. And it worked.
So she just so you were like laying on the Reiki table, receiving this healing from this woman named Joy, which, by the way, the best name for a Reiki facilitator ever.
Yes.
And she put these crystals on your body. Yeah. And obviously I'm a Reiki master teacher, so I know like what she was doing, but she put the crystals probably on your chakra line.
Yep.
And you felt an instant.
As soon as the session was over, that weight, that heavy, like elephant on your chest feeling was gone for the first time in months.
Do you remember what crystals she used on you?
I don't.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah. I just was like, was she talking crystals? Okay. Put whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
On. If she was like, you want to light poo on you, it'll help you. I'd be like, do it up, Joy.
Oh, I've been there before. I was like, you want me to eat shit? You want to shove things up my ass? Like, please do it for me. If I feel better, I'd be so grateful.
I was desperate.
Yeah.
It was like that feeling. I could not shake it. And as soon as the session was over, I'll never forget, it was gone.
You felt it.
Physically, yeah, it was gone.
Wow. And so when you left that Reiki session and you felt like so amazing, where you're just like, there's something in this crystal shit.
I was shook.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck did this woman just do to me?
Yeah.
So yeah, then I started researching about crystals because I'm like, I need to know more. I need to know what just happened.
You're very much like me, where you get obsessed with something and you're like, I have to educate myself to the point of like no return.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is why you're doing so well in your business now, because you know all the things. Yeah. So you like went in, you educated yourself about the crystals, and then like when from there to there, did you were like, I'm going to be the fucking Juju nurse and leave my goddamn job?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it happened, when it happened, but like it was a couple months, and I was like, okay, LuLaRoe, no, we're scratch that. I'm going to sell some of my crystals, and then I took like a little $200 little personal collection and flipped it into what I have today.
Holy fuck. This is like flipping a house, but flipping crystals.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Oh my God.
So I was doing it part-time, still working at the hospital, and like I'd bring the crystals like on the weekends. So I'd have them in the back office, and like the nurses, my nurse friends would like buy some.
You are such a fucking gangster. I love this.
It was, I was hustling. But then I was to the point where like I was losing out on sales because I was working my shift at the hospital.
Yeah.
I was getting annoyed because I'm like, I wasn't making bad money as a nurse, but I was like, I'm missing out on some dollars.
Damn right, honey. Get that coin.
And then one morning I woke up and I was like literally crying. And I was like, I don't want to go to work. It was miserable.
You felt it.
That's
the worst day.
And I was like, I don't want to live like this. And I literally just emailed my boss my resignation letter. And I said, I formally quit as of right now. And
okay, first of all, you are the motherfucking epitome of an HBIC, because you know how many people that I know are like miserable for years in their job and they just keep going and going because they like feel like there's no other outlet. But let me ask you this question. When you did that, when you were like, yo, bitch, here's my email, here's my resignation, gangster, did you see an uptick as soon as you stopped working as a nurse, like with your money, because you could then put 110% of yourself into the crystals?
Oh, yeah. It was like an instant.
Night and day.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I'm kind of like saying this is because I have so many women that reach out to me and they're like, I'm so afraid to leave what I'm doing now. And I know that I want to do this other thing, but I'm so afraid to leave. Like, because especially with you being a nurse, right? You were getting a salary, you were getting money every week, right? You knew how much you were making. You like knew how to live off of it and how to budget and do all that shit.
But I was still living paycheck to paycheck with my 2 kids.
See? Isn't that so? And that was also a catalyst where you're like, I have to do more.
Yeah, of course. Like that's the main driver to everything is to just provide for my kids at this point. I'm the provider.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So it's scary, but I mean, I wouldn't ever change what I did for the world.
But so many people won't do it. They will stay in the thing and they will never do the thing. And I'm always like, dude, do you understand that like the thing that's actually the scary thing that you have to do is what's going to catapult you to the most ambitious life that you could live?
Absolutely.
Which is what you did.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you leave the psych hospital.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck it. I'm going to do crystals full time. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
We're going to make it work.
And you had no business background.
No.
Like,
I still don't.
You don't have like a master's degree in business.
No, I went to school just for nursing, science. I don't know what the hell. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
But I fucking love this because so many people say like, well, I don't have a business degree and I don't have all these things. And I was like, dude, you don't need that shit.
You absolutely don't.
You just had like this beautiful story and you're so fucking funny and you're so charismatic and you're so entertaining. And I always tell people, and I've said this to you, right? So it's like educate, empower, entertain. Mm-hmm. If you have those 3 things where you can educate people on the crystals, for example, you can empower them saying, hey, if you use this thing this way, it's going to change your life. If you give your crystal a job, and then you're entertaining as fuck because you are fucking hilarious. Like those are the 3, I always say it's the 3 E's. If you have those 3 things, you can do anything.
Yeah. And I didn't know I had any of those things. And
I just
like,
told you.
Yeah. Thank you. But I was just like, I'm just going to make it work because now I have no choice. literally have no choice. So, and I've never been happier.
So how did you start selling your crystals? So obviously you didn't have a storefront.
No, and I still don't. I just work out of an office in my house.
Yes.
I do live sales on Facebook, and I was so scared to go live at first. I was so scared.
Do you remember your first live?
You want to hear some shit?
Yes.
I'll never forget. And God love her. I'm not going to say her name, but one of my very oldest friends, she's a nurse as well. Okay. The first person to come on my very first live. Okay. And her first comment, ha, 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 ha. I died. I passed away. I was like, you bitch.
She was laughing like at you, like, I can't believe you're fucking doing this.
Yes. And I was like going live from my kitchen on my kitchen table. Like we were like OG lives. Yeah.
I love that. I miss those days, man, when the algorithms were tight and everything was like,
and I could play NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and wouldn't get like copyright infringement.
Dude, those were the days.
We had the vibe going.
We really, truly did. We didn't even know what we had when we had it.
I know.
And now it's just gone.
Now I have to listen to freaking cover bands. It's really annoying. Anyway,
literally the worst.
It could be worse.
So you're at your fucking kitchen table. Your friend says, ha, 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 ha.
After I finally get the balls to go live. And then that's I was like,
It was literally like Satan came and showed up and was like, hello, Melissa.
Yeah. But luckily I have no shame. So I was just like, you know what? I was like, hi, Jenna. Oh, I said,
hi, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna. I love her.
We still love you, Jenna.
Yes. But
guess what? You know what? Jenna was a great catalyst.
Oh, yeah, because I've lit a fire under my ass.
Yeah, because you were like, haha, bitch, I'm going to freaking show all y'all. And you totally have. Do you remember your sales that night? Did you do like a good job?
I did for starting out, I think so. But like relatively speaking at this point, that would have been like a wash. But
that would have been a bad day in Juju Nurse's life.
For the first live, I think I did great. But
dude, I remember my first live on Facebook. It was not a good situation.
Right?
And I'm like, and so the thing is, the difference between you and I is like, I actually have like 20 plus years of like theater and public speaking coaching and all these things, right? So when people look at me and they go, how do you do what you do? I'm like, I was like literally trained to be this person. You don't have that background. So you were like raw dogging it.
And I was the shyest kid growing up, even in high school,
really?
Like so quiet. Like I don't even know who I've become. Like I don't even recognize I love me now.
Oh, I love you too.
Thank you.
I mean, I loved you before, even though I didn't know you. But isn't that funny that you were shy?
I'm still shy.
Around people that you don't know? Because when the bitch that I walked in and saw that day was asking me to do her podcast, was not shy.
I know. One-on-one, I'm pretty good, but like in like a big crowd or just like putting myself out there, I get shy.
Yeah,
I
get explosive diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
I light it up.
I stopped the Dunkin's. I'm probably banned from down the street before I came here. I was nervous.
You can always poop at my house, by the way.
Thank you.
Everyone always shits in my house.
Oh, I would not.
It's like a thing.
Not the first time.
As long as you don't shit on my walls.
Would have been very
Big Bernard would have been like, every time you have people over here, they're always just shitting in my house. Everything smells like shit. No, there's been days where my whole house has smelled like poop because I've had like days here where I've had like friends that we were doing like spiritual stuff. And spiritual shit can make you poop.
Legit.
Oh, yeah. Like Dumb and Dumber style, like bad grandpa all over the walls.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. I'm a classy girl.
So your shyness goes into your root chakra and then you just poop your pants.
Yeah. So we're not going to do that today, but
good.
Yeah.
And you're not the only person that I coach that has poopy problems because they get nervous. I mean, I do too.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Don't be no shame in your poopy game.
Well, Dunkin's just hates me, but it's fine.
Yeah. D&D.
Yeah.
Well, their coffee gives everyone explosive diarrhea, so they should like just deal with it.
Coming. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Oh my God. So your first live on Facebook was like amazing, but a shame show. And then how many years ago was that?
4.5.
Holy shit. So from that first live to now, what has transpired in your life?
Oh my gosh, financial freedom.
Yes.
Growing my business. I started my Instagram. I have I think a decent amount of followers for just like a little old gal from New Hampshire.
You are not a little old gal, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And then, just the financial freedom. I was able to travel. I'm scared to fly. So driving cross country to Tucson alone.
What is this all about?
I know.
You and Nicole have this problem. And I'm like, how are we ever going to live our best lives all together if you can't get on a plane with me?
Well, come April, I have to fly to Mexico because my brother's getting married.
Oh my! Well, we're gonna have to do some stuff about this. You know that my husband almost got in a plane crash.
Yes, I listened to that podcast.
So if he can do it, anyone can freaking do it. I've already talked to Nicole about this too. Like, how are we supposed to live our best lives?
Somebody's gonna have to wheelbarrow me onto that plane,
girl.
Tranquilized.
Oh, hey, that's what Xanax was created for.
I've done scarier stuff. I'll be fine.
Right? No. Yeah. Hello. You know what was scarier than a plane ride? Your first Facebook live.
Jenna laughing at me.
Jenna going ha 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 ha. Oh my God, I'm dead. Have you had haters like?
Oh, I've Like,
Tell me about the haters.
Grown adults who own crystal businesses as well, who are my quote unquote competition, I guess. I don't like.
They're not.
No, like spreading rumors about me on Facebook, like getting,
jealous ass hoes.
I had this one couple and I thought I was friendly with them. I would go on their live sales and like, verbally support them. They would come on mine.
Of course.
One day they just literally made up a lie that I was trying to get their like 90-year-old mother to buy my crystals in like the DMs. I was like,
it out.
Listen, I don't have time to message your mom who's older than Jesus. I'm busy. I don't even have time to DM my own customers at this point, let alone your mom. I don't need that. And I don't need the 8 people watching your live either. I'm good.
But this is literally how this world is. No matter if you're in the crystal business or you're in the coaching business or in spiritual business, like there's always going to be those haters. And it's like, you have no competition. Your competition is yourself.
Yeah. And I don't pay attention. That's why I'm still to this day, when I think about it and when I'm reminded about it, it shakes me because I'm like, what is the matter with people?
Jealousy. It's a disease.
Yeah.
Get well soon, bitch.
Literally.
Oh my God, dude.
I wonder if their mom ever got a crystal though, because
she's probably fucking dead, dude.
She's probably not even really. I don't know.
She probably passed away.
Yeah, and I've had like several other people just like really try to just blow up my spot and like try to shame. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even pay attention to you. You just got to keep going. You know what I mean? You can't pay attention to it.
No.
If you get wrapped up in it, then it's toxic.
It's a downer and it's enemy energy because the enemy does not want to see people like us doing well. Period.
Which is wild because I have like such an opposite feeling. There's room for everybody.
Madam. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. Like,
and I think you're just like me where you're just like, you want everyone to win.
Of course.
I want everyone to win. That's like my number one thing is like, I'm not a jealous and that's another thing. And I don't think you're like this either. I'm not a jealous person.
No.
Like, I'm like, good for you. You're fucking making $1 million a month. God bless you. Like, come on, sister.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand that mindset.
But most people aren't like that. And you'll never understand that mindset. And that's just like, that is just the way it rolls, especially when you're in the entrepreneurial world like you and I both are. People just come for you, especially in the social media realm that we're all living in, where people just think like, because they see you on Facebook, that they fucking all of a sudden know who you are. And they think that they can just like DM you and say all kinds of crazy ass shit to you. Yeah.
Well, luckily I had my training from the psych hospital where I had some wild shit said to me. So there's nothing you can say that will spook me, hurt my feelings. Go ahead.
Finger paint shit on my face. I've had it all happen. I know.
Charged that with a poop pencil. A lot of poop theme today.
Yeah, I know. We're like very poopy. We're very poopy.
But
so for all the HBICs out there who are maybe feeling like they want to get into the entrepreneurial space, what would be like your best advice for someone who came from like a nursing background, very like, this is what I'm doing, this is how much I'm going to make? What would be like your best advice for someone who really desires to like go into the entrepreneurial space but is kind of scared?
Fucking do it. Just do it. Don't be scared, because being scared is just delaying your success.
Yeah, and absolutely.
If you would have told me 5-10 years ago, this is what I'd be doing, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I have never been happier. I am the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy. And like the shit that like you said, like that I've manifested, not even knowing, like intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great. I found my notebook actually from 2017 when I first, like right after the Reiki, I got like really deep into like my first probably spiritual awakening, you would call it. And,
right.
I would start doing my vision boards every birthday. And I found my very first vision board from when I was 33. And I think probably like 2/3 of it have already come true.
What on there did you have? Do you remember anything?
Weight loss.
Okay.
Getting out of debt.
Yes.
Getting a new vehicle.
Yes.
Traveling. And then there's a couple other things that I'm not going to.
No, it's none of our business.
Yeah.
It's private. Okay. Yeah, it's private.
We're waiting for those to come.
So you just said weight loss.
Yeah.
Which obviously I know your story, but tell your story about the weight stuff and like where you are now. By the way, guys, you can't see her, but like she is a fucking snack.
Oh, you're very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're also snacky.
Thank you.
So I was born a big girl.
Oh, you was a big girl?
I was always a big girl.
Really?
Thicky thick.
And by the way, you know how people are like, I'm just big boned. She is not a fucking big boned girl. She is like very petite, very tiny.
That's so funny. Stop it.
Isn't that weird though?
I don't feel like that.
Well, because I think when you have been heavy most of your life, you get like body dysmorphia.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like when you look in the mirror, you're just like, I see a thick bitch.
Yeah, my head's still big.
Even though, by the way, being a thick bitch in this day and age is like not a bad thing. But you were unhealthy.
Yes, I'm 5'4", almost 5'5", and I was almost 300 pounds.
Wow.
And I smoked cigarettes.
You smoked the butts?
I smoked a Newport.
I could not.
I know.
That's so very Kim Zolciak from Real Housewives of Atlanta of you.
In my Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Oh, honey, you're giving me the vapors. Oh, I can just see. What color was your Eclipse?
I had a black one and then I had a purple one. Xmas X.
So, I'm dying. I can just see you right now, like with your fucking hand out the window, smoking your Noop in your Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's giving me 2000s
with
vibes.
my Von Dutch hat.
Oh, did you wear a little bit like Ed Hardy too? And
of
a little.
Course.
Oh my
of course
God.
I
Those
did.
are the days, dude.
I just ordered a Von Dutch hat, actually. I'm bringing that shit back.
BTW, the hats that I'm doing for Bitchapalooza are the Von Dutch style because I love that style. The trucker hat.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
Okay, we're bringing it back.
It's going to say HBIC on the front.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
here for it.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I love this. All right, so
anyways,
you're in your purple Mitsubishi, you're smoking your Newport, and you're 300 pounds.
Yes, just not living my best life at all.
But did you think at the moment that you were?
I thought I was fucking killing it.
Oh, see, don't you love when you look back and you're like, I was killing it, and you're like, I was not killing
my
it.
Snapchat, like, you know how it does like the 4 years ago today is very cruel because I'm like, oh, damn it, Melissa. Like, you were.
We need these pictures for a spank bank. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I want to see them.
I'll show you.
Okay. I won't show anyone else, but I want to see this shit.
It's bad. But yeah, so I was just very unhealthy.
Were you eating your feelings? Like, were you a eater?
You know, that's the thing. It's like I would just not eat all day. And then at night I would like binge.
Do you know like nurses are the most unhealthy?
Oh, yeah.
Of all the, because I coach a lot of nurses and they're like the most unhealthy because you can't get a break unless you smoke butts.
Yeah.
So you're like, fuck, well, I don't want to be here 24/7. So I need to like take up a smoking habit to get the fuck out of the psych hospital for like 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. And then it's like, you have to choose. Do you want a Newport or do you want to go down to the cafe and get like your really shitty meal?
Yes.
I chose a Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then would you binge when you got out of work, like so hungry because you hadn't eaten all day?
Yeah. And then I would just eat. And of course, it like wasn't healthy. It was something quick.
Yes.
And I was working 212. So I was working 7A to 7P, and then I would go back at 7P, work overnight to 7A.
Fuck.
So my body was
your circadian rhythm was all fucked up. You didn't know when you were sleeping.
I didn't know if I was coming or going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was not helping either. And then Eddie died, and I was at that was a very stressful few years leading up to his passing away anyways. So I was the last person on my list to take care of.
Wow. And what do you think, other than like the Reiki and Eddie passing away, was like the catalyst that were like, I am fucking gonna lose this weight and I'm gonna stop smoking butts?
Because I think like I had manifested everything that I finally wanted. I was killing it with my business. I wasn't at the hospital anymore, like financial freedom, out of debt finally after like over a decade.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what is the one thing that is bothering me about my life? And being overweight. I was like, I'm going to fix this. Wow. So I joined the program for gastric bypass. It was like a year-long process.
Yeah, it's by the way, gastric is not like a thing you just do. Like it's actually a really serious thing and they make you go through a lot of shit. And it's not like you just snap your fingers and you're like, oh, I'm going to give you gastric bypass.
Right. And I had gone through the whole process actually when I was working at Elliott, and I had quit right when I was about to meet with the surgeon. So I had to do it all over again.
Why do you think? Were you self-sabotaging or shit just popping off in your life?
Well, I quit because I was like, this is my letter of resignation. I'm going to do the juju. So and then I was like, I didn't think it through. Obviously, that was kind of like a knee jerk, very impulsive, but beautiful thing that I did. And then I was like, fuck. I got to do the whole thing.
So then you went through the whole entire year almost.
Yeah. Again.
You go through all this psych shit.
The psych clearing, all the classes you have to attend. Thank God for COVID. So it was all Zoom.
Ugh. Could you imagine having to schlep your ass in there all the fucking time and do that?
Oh, sir, ma'am, I'm a nurse. Like, I know this information, but they didn't care.
Yes.
So, yeah, just for insurance purposes, jump through all the hoops, all the fiery hoops, and then I get cleared for surgery.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
And then you had your surgery.
Had my surgery.
How much weight did you lose?
Since probably almost 150 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So fucking amazing.
It's wild.
And now you've had some health problems though with your gastric.
Yes. So I don't want to scare anybody who's really looking into it. I'm like a little unicorn because I didn't have not to get like too TMI.
No, I love it. People love it.
Yeah. I don't have a large intestine to begin with because I had ulcerative colitis when I was in high school. So they took that out. And then
what does that do? I mean, I know what it does, but tell me, what does that part of your intestine do?
It absorbs water.
Right.
Yes. So I was probably like operating at a very chronically dehydrated, overweight, status to begin with.
Wow.
And then after I had the surgery, they take out your intestine. It just like literally bypass. Yeah. So in the mouth, out.
Damn.
In and out, not absorbing.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm losing a lot of weight, but I'm also not retaining any fluid. Mm-hmm. So I was like bound to these hydration infusions and lots of hospitalizations, lots of emergency room visits, lots of ambulance rides that I had never even experienced before.
Right.
For about probably, almost like a year and a half. And just recently now that I've been like doing, I'm in A28P.
Yes.
So I've been working with you. Like I'm down to once every 2 weeks going for infusions.
And how many times a week were you before?
3.
And how many hours a day is each infusion?
Like a 5-hour session.
So 15 hours a week she was doing these vitamin and friggin' hydration infusions so that she could actually like live her function. And now you're only down to how many?
It was 2 weeks ago that I went, and I'm still going strong.
Oh my God. And so you've been on A2AP when we're actually, because when we release this podcast, it's going to be like 2 weeks after our podcast. So you're going to be done with A2AP. But so we're in week 4. So we're going on our 4th week. So we're in the home stretch. Yes. How much weight have you actually released?
So I had released about 15 pounds.
Okay.
And then I fell off the wagon this weekend. I'm not even going to lie to anybody.
I love you.
There was a wedding. I haven't been to a wedding in 5 years.
And you had a lot of fun.
I had a fucking blast.
And you didn't regret it?
I don't.
But you felt like a bag of smashed assholes after.
I felt like such a dick when I had to post my status pictures. I was like, oh, trigger warning. This is shameful, but just be here for it.
But no one thought it was shameful. Everyone was just like loving on you.
Oh, I know. They were really good.
But isn't it weird though when you because did you drink alcohol too at the wedding?
Oh, yes.
What did you drink? What do you drink when you drink?
Usually just wine, but at the wedding I drank wine. I had champagne.
You were doing it. Oh, you were doing it all. Sex on the beach, I
was like, Nicole, go to the bar. Sending other people to get my beverages for me. Yes. So we had all the drinks and we ate all the food and
then when you posted on A28P this past week, you said you saw a difference in the way you looked.
Absolutely.
Just from that one night.
From that one shit night.
Isn't that wild?
It was awful. I felt like hell on Sunday.
Food and alcohol. I love it. You know me. I love to party, but it's poison.
Literally, I felt poisoned all day Sunday. My head was throbbing and I just felt like, shameful and like,
but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I was just like, oh, well, that was not, it was kind of worth it though, like in the moment. And then after it's not.
It's always worth it in the moment, honey. It's always worth it in the moment. Let me think about how many guys I banged in my life that was worth it in the moment. Then you're like, why did I do that? It was so dumb. Yuck. Yeah. So what was the real reason though? I know that we're bouncing all around, but this is how you and I roll.
Yeah.
What was the real reason why you wanted to do A28P?
Just to cleanse my body at this point. And it was great because it was the first time that I really signed up for something like that. And my main focus was not weight loss.
Yeah.
And that was a very liberating feeling to be like, okay, now I just want to like detox my body from everything. And then of course, what do? I don't fucking put
that happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But you know what though? Sometimes I'm glad when people on A2AP do that. Because they realize like, oh shit, I'm so clean right now.
Yeah.
And I'm so high vibe right now. And then I'm going to put that poison in my body and then I'm going to feel the repercussions. And sometimes you have to kind of feel the repercussions. It's almost like, when you go back to like an ex and you're like, oh, that's right.
This is why I left your ass. Yeah. Oh yeah. And just to feel like my clean little vessel, I feel like I poisoned. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm actually glad you did it. And I'm not saying, I'm not condoning everyone to do this on A2AP going forward, but I'm just saying like, I am sometimes glad that people do that because then you can feel the difference, And with A2AP, you're also doing like all of your meditations and all your journaling and all your shadow work and everything. Do you feel like that's helped you also evolve? So great. It's been so great. Like taking the time every day to journal and like really like reflect has been super helpful for me. The meditations are great. The sound baths are great. I love it. I love all the things. I have a good routine now going. See, that makes me happy because before you started working with me, you were kind of all over the place. I was a fucking hot mess. I showed up at her studio and I looked like I had... Yeah. I was in a shit show. Yeah. I was like, please help me. I thought you looked beautiful, but I know that, because now I know like you from a different angle, right? Right. And now I've seen you even in the short time that you and I have been working together, like evolve, like ascend exponentially. Thank you. So I'm just throwing it out there and saying, but I know what you're saying. You were just like all over the place. You had no routine. No, just right fresh out of that breakup. Yeah. Just really hit rock bottom. Yep. Yeah. Spiraled over the summer.
Yeah.
Freaking 3 months.
Got my shit back together.
Isn't that crazy? It's so freaking wild.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I met you.
I'm so glad that you said to me, you want to do a podcast today?
So awkward. I wouldn't have it any other way, though. That's me. Hello.
No, but I appreciate that shit because I'm an awkward motherfucker too sometimes. And then like sometimes I'll get in my car after I talk to someone and I'll be like, stupid. Like I'll like want to hit myself on the head. Like, why did you say those things? And because I'm an empath, I tend to overshare. Do you ever do that too?
Oh, I was just talking about my poop and Dunkin' Donuts 5 minutes ago. Absolutely overshare.
Well, you know, that's because you're an empath. That's in us to overshare. We overshare like our story. We overshare our life, which in a lot of ways is really beautiful. It's what makes people love us, but it can be used against us in a court of law sometimes as well. But you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, bring it on. I said what I said.
Exactly.
Guilty.
I do not use coded language. I say it right out, real and raw. So let's talk a little bit about crystal stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm just, I'm a crystal whore.
Yes.
I'm obsessed, but I'm not as like juju as you.
Okay.
Because you're on a whole other fucking level.
Okay.
So when you do your lives on your social media, do you like break it down into like specific crystals? Because I'm not on Facebook, so I can't see your shit.
No, I usually go into it not with like a big plan, and I'm just like,
I love that.
Anytime I like have like a plan on what I want to do, it goes sideways. I'm here for my people. Like, what do you want to see? You let me know, and then
really,
yeah, and then we just talk about like we've been talking more about the metaphysical benefits of them lately. When we've been going live, yep. So I'm working on educating the gals about what they can do, what the crystals can actually do. Some people will collect them, because they look
just
pretty.
like they're pretty.
Yeah, and that's great. And then
I think that's a great thing that you just said because a lot of people they don't get into the crystals because they feel like I don't know anything about them. I don't know how to use them, but like you don't have to.
No, absolutely not. Like when I first started collecting, like I just went by like my intuition, like which crystal drew me, which one I was drawn to the most.
Yes.
Which is weird because it's septarian, and that was the first crystal I ever got.
What is that? I've never heard of this.
So it's just like it's called dragonstone. So it's very like it's yellow and brown, and it's a very masculine looking stone.
Really?
It's kind of cool though because it glows with the UV flashlight. You can get nerdy with it. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, but it's just not something like I'm very into like the pinks and purples and girly glitter sparkle.
Same.
So I just find it interesting that was.
What did it make you feel like? Like when you picked up that stone for the first time, did you feel a certain way about it?
I just loved it. I mean, it's still pretty. I love all crystals. Like I'm such a geek, but yeah, there was just something about it. I was like, ooh, I need that. And that's what I tell people if they're like, I don't know much about crystals. I'm like, just go with what you're drawn to.
So when you're on this like live on your social media and you're showing the crystal, do you tell the girls like, hey, if your vagina puckers when you see this is the one for you?
If people are like, oh, I don't really know much about it, I'm like, well, then just tell me what you like to see and I'll twirl it for you. But and then I'll just tell them like, oh, if you're looking for self-love, if you're having confidence issues, if you need more compassion in your life, here's rose quartz, here's rhodochrosite, and
love.
We'll go over the heart chakras and all the things.
I love this.
Yeah.
What do you have like favorite stones? Like maybe a couple that you can just throw out there for our listeners.
I'm a hoe for labradorite.
Oh, I love labradorite.
Yes, it's my fave.
By the way, Juju gave me the most beautiful labradorite palm stone, and it's funny because I am a whore for labradorite as well. And I've never saw purple labradorite, which is what you gave me.
Yeah, that's like my absolute favorite.
So I had like labradorite palm stone, but it wasn't the purple version. It was like another color, I'm sure. And it was funny because a server was waiting on us one day at a restaurant, and I could tell she was going through something because I'm like that bitch that I can just feel something.
Right.
And I was like, this is really weird, but like, I want to give this to you. And she was like, oh my God, how did you know? Like, I've been like looking into crystals and I've been going through this really hard time in my life, blah, blah, blah. And I told her like, okay, this is for, labradorite is for A, B, C, and D. Yeah. And my husband was like, I cannot believe you just gave that bitch your favorite palm stone. And I'm like, you know what?
It was time for it to go to her.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm abundant. I'll get it back if it's right. And then literally when I opened the gift that you gave me, that was not the only stone in the box, but I was like, oh my God, like this is so, it did. Right. So you love labradorite. What do you feel like the labradorite does for you?
It's a very good protection stone. So I love that. I always have it on me, whether I'm wearing it or like it's in my bra or, my bag. And then it's also good for new beginnings. And I feel like I've been like the bitch of new beginnings.
You truly are.
Over and over and over again, which is great.
Oh yeah. You always want to be evolving.
For sure. So, I just love it for that. And it comes in pretty purples and pinks and all the colors. And I have like my nebula galaxy tattoo, and I just feel like it has like a good reflection of
I love that.
all those colors. So.
Yeah, labradorite is a great protection stone, like an amazing protection stone. I want you to talk to the viewers about the what's it called? Anhydra? Anhydros.
Yeah, so I brought Katie an anhydro. It was a DT, which is double terminated quartz anhydro, and she was like mesmerized by it, which I love.
It's upstairs in my kitchen, and I look at it every day and I shake it.
It's so cool, right?
So I never even knew that there was such a thing where these crystals actually, as they're forming, they encapsulate water.
Yes.
Which is like ancient. It's probably millions of years old water.
Yeah, you call it the dinosaur piss. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
It's dinosaur piss.
Yeah, it's magic dinosaur piss.
How crazy. And it gets encapsulated in the actual crystal itself. And when you look at the crystal, it almost looks like you know those things that like when you're putting something up on the wall,
like a level.
Yeah, it looks like a level,
like a little bubble in the level.
Yes,
a lot of them, not all of them, but some of them have it's called like a mover, so you'll be able to see it. Like actually, some of them are just stationary and you can't see it move, and then some of them have the carbon in it, so you can see that a little flex.
And
moving.
When they move, is it more expensive?
Yes,
because that shit can get expensive, right? Some of these like crazy.
You should see. I have one that it's literally the size of, I think, like probably baseball size, and it goes back and forth through like the whole diameter of,
what is the stone?
It is a smoky citrine lodolite.
And so when you move it, you can actually see the water.
It's like a big, huge, like it looks like a little water balloon inside of it.
Now, is there any like energetic properties for the water crystals over like regular crystals? Does it like do something to it, or is it just like pretty to look at?
Well, they're pretty to look at, but yeah, I think the anhydros do have like a little bit more. It must
like maximize the energy.
Probably makes it a little bit more potent. I don't know off the top of my head.
No, but I bet it is.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
The dinosaur piss, yeah.
I mean, fuck. Dinosaur piss makes everything more potent.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of different qualities for the crystals that make them like, either more expensive or more rare. And yeah, that's definitely one of them. So I love that you love that.
I'm obsessed with it. So when I did my bitch box, when I first launched my book Ambitchious, we launched it during COVID, which I didn't know that was going to happen when I was writing my damn book.
Right.
And we couldn't do the world tour like we were doing. And I was like, well, how do I get my book out there? So we created these bitch boxes, and I went to a crystal place and I picked out all these crystals to make like these grids and all this kind of really cool stuff. I used Metatron's cube and I gridded it and everything. And that was like one of the parts of the bitch box. And I remember going to this crystal place and the woman was like educating me on all this stuff. And I was like, why is this so expensive compared to this? And it looks literally the same. And like one of the things was a big amethyst, like how they open the pieces.
A geode.
Yeah, geode. Yeah. And she's like, oh, well, because see how like these two things, they fit together perfectly and they can stand on their own and all this shit. I just think it's so, we don't have to like educate on this today, but I just think it's just so interesting, like how you get into like these odd subculture type things and then it can like change all these people's lives. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's everything has a vibration. Everything has a frequency. And when you get like really like nerdy about it and research the crystals a little bit better, you realize like why the metaphysical properties are associated with each one.
Right.
And then that makes me like, as coming from like my science background, then I'm like, okay, now I can fuck with this. Now I can like buy into it because there's a science to it.
Do you know I'm the same way?
Yeah.
Like when I do the sound healing, people will be like, I don't understand why this works. And I'm like, well, actually, it's the frequency of such and such, you know what I mean? And like, and people are like, wow, because not everyone is like, we're very right brained where we're airy fairy and we're like, la, la, la. Mm-hmm. But we also, you and I especially have like this left side of our brain where it has to make sense and has to be scientific. There has to be some kind of a like
data behind it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't like to just say shit. Just to say shit where, a lot of like crystal people, I'm sure, because you're in this industry. They're just like, oh yeah, like it's like cool, man. And it's like,
which it is.
It is totally. But I want to know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show me
I need to have some data behind that.
Yes.
And then I can buy into it a little bit more.
Like all the angel type of crystals where it's like apophyllite and celestite and kunzite. I love that. And I remember I was going through a really deep spiritual awakening because it happens in layers, right?
Oh,
all of a sudden you think you're cool and then you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah, circle back to the summer.
And yes. And I remember one of my healers was like, I really want you to start using the angel crystals. And I was like, oh God. And then I started getting more into that. And I was like, oh my God, I understand now why like these are angel crystals because they're so high vibrational. Mm-hmm. Do you wear... oh God, what is the stone that's a meteorite?
Moldavite?
Yeah, do you wear that on your body?
I do. I have a ring here.
I thought you did.
Yeah. And then
so great. Okay, so I'm obsessed with Moldavite because I'm an alien.
Yes.
Like I'm a starseed.
I have a feeling.
Yes, I'm part of the Galactic Being of Light Federation.
Beam me up.
Honey, I will.
Let's go.
And my husband, Big Bernard, aka Matt Babine, as you know, he is a Virgo.
Okay.
And he's very like,
that doesn't work, and you're going a little too fast for me. And
I'm just like, come on, get on this roller coaster, let's go to hell, like.
Yes.
And so I started getting really big into Moldavite for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had this little, because it's expensive as shit.
Oh, yes.
So Moldavite, oh my God, I'm like talking for you, but
no, please go ahead.
Moldavite was this asteroid like millions and millions of years ago that hit Moldova, and it hit like a big sand dune. And when the asteroid and the sand came together, it created this spray of green like glass.
Mm-hmm.
And so once the Moldavite is gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
Like, so once everybody buys it up, there's no more.
Right.
Whereas like if you're, looking for amethyst or quartz or things like that,
more abundant.
It's more abundant, right? So Moldavite is wicked expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like a little chip and I would sleep with it under my pillow. And
you're
Matt
wild that you could even sleep with that.
Oh, I'm next level. I'm like, give me it all. Oh yeah, I'm like, nanu. Yeah, I'm a fucking freak. So Matt, like one night I put it under my pillow the first time and he was like, I didn't fucking sleep at all last night. I don't know what the fuck was going on, dude. He's like, I just kept having these nightmares, these aliens coming to get me and all this shit. I swear to God. And I was like,
well, I slept with this Moldavite under my pillow.
and so he's like, what the fuck is that shit? So I told him about it. He was like, don't fucking do that to me, man.
Oh,
He can't even be around it.
Yeah, some people are really sensitive.
So
to
you've
it.
noticed this?
I'll get like shaky sometimes if I hold I have like a really big piece in my collection that like if I hold my ring doesn't bother me, but the big piece that I have,
Interesting.
it'll make me shaky physically.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it though?
I do sometimes.
See, I'm like a freak. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I need
Oh
to
my
vibrate.
God. Isn't that so wild?
I love it.
And there are stones that are meteorites like tektite,
Yeah.
moldavite, and things like that, which is really cool. But oh my God. So if you could give anyone like a starter kit, like just a couple, like, nothing about crystals, this is the starter kit because as you know, everyone has problems with self-worth, no inner child healing, love, unconditional love for themselves and that kind of stuff. What would be like a couple of stones that like, if you could just go throw it out there to someone new, what would be like your favorite things?
Starter kit, I would probably say clear quartz.
Yes.
Because that's going to amplify all the other crystals.
Awesome.
Your rose quartz for your self-love. And just because it's pretty.
It is
your
gorgeous.
amethyst.
Yes.
Just like, it's like your basic B starter kit.
Yep.
Maybe moss agate. Nice little
I never
earthy
used
tone.
that.
I love it.
Tell me
I almost
about-
brought you a tower of that today, but I brought you the other one.
Oh,
instead.
I can't wait to
I
open
know,
my
I'm
gift
not
after the
telling.
podcast.
So moss agate is really good. It's good for your heart chakra. It has
Really?
it has like a lot of like green hues, very earthy tones, white, and it comes in like, you can get it in with like druzy, which
Oh,
makes
I
it
love
sparkly.
that. Pretty.
Yes, and it's very nice grounding stone too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it. They're so There's so much. I'm always learning.
Dude, well, you got me a stone. What was the black stone that was like radiated?
It's my second favorite, hyperstein.
It's called hyperstein.
Mhm.
I've never saw anything like that in my freaking life.
It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
It's like lab sexy cousin.
Is it really?
Well, that's what I call it. I don't know.
Oh my God. What do you do with it when you use it?
So I use it if I'm like trying to do a live sale and like I'll just hold it because it's supposed to help you, kind of hone in, focus.
Ooh.
I'm a very distracted gal.
Honey,
and I see something
same,
shiny
bitch.
and I'm over here, over
Same.
there. So it helps you I should have brought some today.
Is it like really, is it grounding?
It's grounding, it's protecting because it's like your dark stone.
Yes.
And it's going to help you kind of just focus and prioritize like what you're.
Are you an anti-dark stone bitch?
No, I like.
You like the black tourmalines and the hematites and all that kind of
Oh
stuff?
yeah, but I'm a pink and purple gal.
I am too.
Yeah.
Did you see the big ass piece of?
I was eyeing that thing as I was coming.
Were you
here,
trying to
like,
put it in your bag?
No, I got my own girl, but no, I was admiring it.
It's
for
a good
sure.
one, right?
Yeah, she has a huge black tourmaline log outside her
Oof,
home.
it's a log.
That's a tree trunk.
That is.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It's so beautiful.
I'm a size queen, so I appreciate.
Oh,
the,
I am-
The
see,
big
I am
crystals.
too.
Yeah, I love the big crystals. Bigger the better.
There was a girl who I knew that used to work at this crystal shop, and she had a humongous. I'm talking like the size of this room. It was an amethyst geode
Like a
cut in half.
cathedral.
It was a cathedral, but
Yeah.
it was like angel wings. So it like split in half, and then she put it on this like pedestal, so it literally looked like they were suspended in her house. And I was like, I want that shit. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Then she told me how much it cost, and I was like, ooh, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had one of those actually. I sold that.
Did you?
I did, and then I had one that actually grew naturally, and it was like a butterfly,
Whoa.
and I sold that to one.
Do you
of my
ever like
friends.
get crystals and you're like, I'm never selling this, and you're like, fuck. And then someone wants it really bad and you're like, fuck, I'll just sell it.
You know, I have 2 children. I have bills to pay. Yeah, like everything has a price. Like I foster a lot of crystals. There's a few, like a handful of pieces.
Oh my God, you foster crystals? I love this.
Everything in my house has a fucking price tag at the bottom if you lift it up. Because I need to remember. You know what I mean? I want to remember what I bought. You know what I mean?
Well, because people that in the crystal world, just like anything, right? You start buying all the shit and you're not like, it's like, is this a business? Or is this just a really sick hobby that sometimes you sell some shit?
Well, no, we make our dollars, but like we're going to take the best one out of the bunch before we put it on Facebook. Let me tell you that. But then you get in a new batch and then I'm like, okay, we'll trade this one out for that.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
See, I'm like super like, I hang on to shit and I need to like stop being like that. It's not a good look.
It's funny because I look back at like my first collection. I thought like I was so nerdy. I like labeled it. I had them in like the little, like the jewelry containers you get at Michael's and they have the little individual boxes.
Oh yeah.
So I had my little label maker. I was just trying to cope with Eddie passing away.
Of course.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to channel all my energy into learning. And I'm like, oh my God, how silly is this now? Like knowing what I know now. I'm like, oh, look at me thinking I'm so smart with like my agate little stickum. So yeah, we just sold those.
Now, do you give your crystals a job?
Some of them I do.
So like, what is the job that you give your crystals the most?
So after working with you, my black tourmaline, before I did the A2AP, and I should have brought it for the wedding this weekend, but yeah. So I have my 2 black tourmalines, my special ones that I will, if I'm going to have an adult beverage, I tell them that it's going to protect me from the Agul ghost.
Yes.
Yes, the Agul spirit.
Because people don't realize that alcohol is like what opens you up to any kind of like dark forces coming in your body.
Yeah.
That's why you black the fuck out when you're drunk and you bang random dudes and you do random shit.
Yes.
I mean, that was what I used to do when I would drink too much.
Back in the day, I did that too. Yes.
Who didn't, honestly?
We just danced a lot. We thought we were really good dancers this weekend.
I love when that happens though. Because I'm like the worst dancer.
Oh,
I'm like a broken fucking door.
Same here, but we were like...
You thought it was like all in.
We were churning the butter. Yeah. It was
You had the baby carriage in the shopping cart?
Yes. No, but yeah, so like I'll give my black tourmaline that job to protect me from the alcohol.
Yes.
And then I have a few stones that like I carry with me on the daily. So like my rhodochrosite palm is like, that's my gal.
I love rhodochrosite.
Yeah, that's going to help just my heart, on a day to day.
Yeah.
And then my labradorite.
Those are such good stones.
Yeah.
So, okay. What is next for Juju Nurse?
All the things.
So many things,
We have
right?
so many things coming.
So obviously you guys know that she is one of my mentorship clients. So like I know a lot of stuff that you guys don't know, but I have been talking to her a lot about starting her own app. So you guys all know that I have the Ambitchious app on Mighty Networks, which is next fucking level. But I really feel like, because remember how I said before when we first started the podcast, I said, you are the 3 E's. You can entertain, you can empower, you can educate.
Yes.
And I think that more people out there like you have to do that, but also make money doing it.
Right.
Like I see so many people do free shit on social media, which is very nice and valiant and it's full of service and value. But it's like, God gave you this gift. Why wouldn't you use it to make money? Because God's not wanting everyone to walk around like a bunch of broke ass bitches.
Right. And I mean, if you can, it's a twofer, you know what I mean? Give and receive.
Absolutely.
It's an exchange of energy.
So you're going to be working on your app.
I'm going to be working on our app so we don't have to fight with Instagram versus Facebook for the live sales. I'm just going to come live to you from...
Do you know I used to do both? I used to go on Facebook Live and then I'd have to go on Instagram Live because there was no way to like share the things before.
You still can't unless you have 2 devices going at the same time.
I know, dude. I know.
Annoying.
I had 2 phones. I had 2 iPhones. It's such bullshit, man.
Don't even get me started. Yes. So we're going to be coming live to you from an app very soon.
That's awesome.
So that's in the works.
And in the meantime, until the app is ready, willing, and able, they can find you on Facebook and Instagram. And what's your handles there?
So on Instagram, I'm the _Juju_Nurse_ Crystals.
Yes.
The Juju Nurse Crystals with all the underscores.
And I'm going to put this in the show notes, guys. So you can, wherever you're consuming this podcast, you can just go right on her Instagram and like see all the things, do all the things with Juju.
Yes. Follow me, do all that stuff.
Yes.
And then just if you type in the Juju Nurse on Facebook, you can find my business page. And that's where the majority of my live sales are at the moment.
Okay. And then when you do live sales, you are really good about saying like on Instagram, like, hey, I'm going live on Facebook on Thursday night at 7.
Yeah, I'll usually post a story and I have a text message alert too. So if you text Juju, Juju to 74121, I believe it is.
I love that.
You can get text message alerts on your phone. So I'll be like, oh, I'm going live at 10.
Tell me more about this. Is this through Facebook or is this your own little messaging app?
It's not my own. It's just like a app that I found that, you can sign up for it and you can
What the hell's it called?
Mobile. I'll have to find it on my phone. And
Oh
give
my
it to
God.
you.
What?
Yeah.
We need to do this.
Yeah,
You're
it's
a fucking
great.
smart little bitch.
I try.
So if they want to get texted by you, because some people, as you know, they're not on their social all the time, but they
Right.
are receiving text messages more than absolutely all the big companies now are doing that. Like they're like, if you want 20% off on your first order, sign up for
Sign up
text.
for text alerts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they can text you.
Yep.
And anytime that you have your live sales.
I send it out like 10 minutes before I'm going live.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, but like you said too, like I'll post on a story like a few hours before, like, oh, I'll be live from Facebook at
Wow.
X time. So,
And you ship worldwide.
worldwide.
You are a fucking like pitbull of the crystal world.
Yes. I just had to hold back trying to sing like him. For
I
a
know you
minute,
were
but
like, Dale.
Yeah.
You're Mrs. Worldwide.
I'm Mrs. Juju Worldwide. Yep.
Oh my God, that's awesome. And so when they come on your live to purchase your crystals, pretty much you'll say it on the live, but like whatever makes you feel some sort of way, that's the crystal that's calling your name.
Yeah. Or if you have something in mind, I have all the things in my office.
So if someone's like, hey, my healer told me to start working with whatever, they can just tell you, I'm looking for a piece of rhodochrosite or I'm looking for a labradorite, like help a sister out.
Yeah. And we'll just go right over to my little cubby that has them and I'll show you what I got.
I feel like I'm missing out on Facebook. You know what I'm going to do? I'm such a creep.
No,
I'm
make
going
a creep one.
I'm going to use Matt's Facebook.
Okay.
And that's how I'll see it. Because
Okay.
I just literally, Facebook makes me hurt. Do you know what I mean?
It's difficult.
Like,
It's challenging.
It is hard. It
Yeah.
is hard. But I want to see you in action.
Oh God, it's so embarrassing. I'm just
I
kidding.
love it. I bet it's so funny and I bet it's so
hilarious.
entertaining.
I entertain myself during it.
Damn
so
right.
that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk to the viewers about before we shuffle off our mortal coil here today?
No, I think we kind of touched
We
on
killed it
everything.
today.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
This
This
was-
was so fun.
This was so, right? I told you, like being on the podcast is so freaking fun.
I'm glad you finally listened to me and we did a podcast together.
I told you, you're literally the master manifester.
Oh, Jason Momoa, watch out.
For reals. Oh God, don't even get me started with Jason. You know, he's my boy.
Oh,
I want to smell his dirty balls. Because you
I'll
know
let
his balls are dirty.
When he shows up, I'll let you. I'll share.
I used to like The Rock too.
Oh, you can have him.
Yeah,
He's-
but
he's
no, I'm
great.
over him now.
Yeah, me
I
too.
had like a love affair with him for like so many years, and then I married my husband, and I was like, you know what? I got a big bald man. I'm good.
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa, you know, he has like dirty balls, and like he wipes his back to front.
I don't care. I don't
No,
care.
I'm here for it. It's like
Yes.
I want to smell your shit balls.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to braid your chin hair.
Yeah. Okay. I would be here for that for him. Only him, though.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited for what's next for you.
Me too.
I cannot wait for all the HBICs out there in Ambitchious Land to start following you and start freaking buying crystals and getting into that, because crystals have helped me so much. Your story was so freaking inspiring.
Thank you.
And thank you for just being real, raw, and honest, because a lot of the things you talked about today were kind of uncomfortable.
Not for me. I have no shame.
Well, for the outside world,
I know,
it might
sorry,
be like,
guys.
wow, this girl, she's just bringing it.
Yeah.
But like that's being ambitious is just like not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
And it inspires other people to do the same.
Yeah. Just be you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
You guys, if you want to follow the Juju Nurse, I'm going to have all of her information in my show notes. Give her some love. She's so inspirational. I can't wait for her app to come out. I can't wait to see what's next from her. And she continues to inspire us on the Ambitchious app. And she continues to inspire me on a daily basis. And I'm so proud to be able to coach her and to also call her a soul sister and a friend. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I love you.
All right, bitches, you better share this out, because, you know, I don't sell fucking rubber underwear on here, and I don't tell you what mattress I sleep on. So the only ask that I ask here on the Ambitchious Podcast is to get out there and share this podcast with as many other ambitches in the world that you can. And don't forget to stay ambitious. And in the meantime, I will see you next Tuesday.